Who's first?
I'll start.
I'm first. I'm
Okay.
So Manny, in past years, I've heard from a long time, there's been a heavy rotation of starters and backups. I noticed this game just seemed like, and especially a receiver, there was, the offensive line only had 71 snaps, the receivers were playing 50 plus snaps for starters. Was that a better condition by design? You feel the backups were ready? Can you talk about that a little bit, and especially the emphasis at the receiver as well?
Maybe a little bit of all the above. And I think just the way that that Jeff and Mike and KJ have kind of separate themselves from the other guys. It's a game where, and also, the snap count, one of the deceiving things about the snap count is, I think we had the ball the last 7 minutes of the game, which is really, crunch time. It was a game where I believe we only had 10 offensive possessions. So a little unique in that we lost the possession obviously on the muff punt. So just one of those deals where everything mattered. So the bench was probably a little bit shorter than it would normally be, but we know that going forward, that we expected all positions to rotate more guys than probably what you saw on Saturday.
Can you talk a little bit about just your impressions after watching the film? Obviously, game day is emotional and all that, but when you went back and really sliced it and diced it, what impressions did you walk away from of the football team?
I thought at every position, I thought we competed and gave ourselves a chance to win the game. So I thought every position should, really could take a lot away from that. But at the same time, every position had a hand in what got us beat. So on one hand, when I look at it, in terms of the effort and the fight and the resiliency and the strain and all that, I thought we were outstanding, which is no small thing. That's a big deal. The to be expected, errors in execution, to be honest, on both sides, it was a game littered with mistakes, which these opening games, and it doesn't matter whether it's week 0, week whatever day we decide to have an opener, and you have two teams in that type of environment, you're not going to get the best football imaginable. That's just the reason why the NFL plays preseason games. So I think when it really came down to it, I think that we made probably 1 or 2 more mistakes at the crucial time than what they did. So a lot to build on. I think our players saw it as a missed opportunity. There was a little bit different mentality in here yesterday when the team came in. It wasn't a sadness maybe like it had been in the past with some losses or kind of a moping around. It was a little more of an edge and an anger, maybe even a little bit of a disgust, which I thought was really good and healthy, and something to build on, I think, for sure going forward.
I want to ask you about Tate and just his role. Is that what he's going to be doing moving forward? How do you feel like he did? And I guess do you feel like his presence on the field made an impact when he was on the field?
Yeah, well, he's a threat. There's obviously a lot of creativity that we can do with him. There's things that didn't even get called in the game. So there'll be more to that. But he's a guy that I think if you're playing defense, you'll want to know if he's on the field, and you'll want to know where he's aligned, because that can make you change your game plan pretty quickly.
Do you still view him as a quarterback? I mean, would you classify him as a quarterback right now? Or?
I don't know. Good question. Classifying as tape.
Manny, I know it was just the first game, but will you consider any changes on the offensive line? And does just the value of showing those young linemen that you have confidence in them and keeping them the way they are, does that supersede any quick fix?
Those are our guys. And let me tell you something. They never flinched. They never blinked. They got beat. And that's going to happen. That's hard. It's hard to play as a true freshman in that setting. And they got some good dudes. They got some dudes that seniors would have a hard time blocking. But, we're not building this program. We didn't build the program for August 24th. We built this, the idea here is to build a monster that lasts and that's sustainable. And I'm proud of the way that those guys did. You could see it early on in the game, especially some nerves, which is to be expected. When you got an older guy against a younger guy. But you know what? I know this, and I know this from coaching the linebackers the last 3 years. Payback's a bitch. And what happens to freshmen is they turn into sophomores. And eventually they turn into juniors, and you get the right type of guy, like we have a linebacker, they turn into seniors. And sometimes those seniors, they go and play against some other freshmen. And then, like I said, that'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch those guys develop.
With Zion specifically, he's obviously a guy you guys have been really impressed with pretty much since he got to campus. Just what were kind of some of the positive signs you saw, and kind of what you saw from him on day one
Same
when he
thing.
got here?
He hung in there. I thought he hung in there. I thought he battled. There's a lot of play. It's always easy to focus on the negative plays, but there's a lot of plays where they're holding their own against big time guys. So now if they can fix some of the errors, which honestly goodness, some of the errors were just first time in that environment and being slow off the ball or false starts or things like that. That's all correctable. But when they see that they can do it with their technique and do it against that type of competition, and be very honest, gave us a chance to win the game there at the end. I think they can take a lot of confidence from that.
Manny, I saw DJ Ivy and I heard you this morning and you said he'll be back. What's your philosophical ideology, I guess, on disciplinary issues and how you can make it most beneficial for players in the program and going forward to try to prevent issues from recurring?
I think try to give an answer to what you're asking. I'm not 100% certain what you're asking, but but obviously we have a structural rules in place. We have structural rules in place as a football program. We have structural rules in place as an athletic department. We have structural rules in place as a university. And what we've tried to do since day one is we've created a pretty cut and dry, set of rules that if you do this, here's the penalty, and it just is what it is. And you serve the penalty, whether that's missing a study hall or up to being late for a breakfast or whatever it is. And so when there's an issue, you solve the issue. Once the proverbial bill has been paid, you paid off your ticket, you hop back in the car and you keep driving and off we go.
Is there a certain amount of tickets that will get players in more trouble?
It just depends on whether you're illegally parked or whether you're driving the wrong way down 95 or 120 miles an hour. It just all depends on what the issue is. So, but I think our guys have, the feedback that I've gotten is that since January, because everything has been, I think the key to discipline is consistency, and that the rules are already laid out, prior to, because there is a difference between, making a mistake and having a problem. And so I think our guys have been a pretty low maintenance football team up to this point.
Now that you've played a game, you don't play again for another 10 to 2 weeks or whatever, what's the message you're delivering to the team now until the next game?
Let's get to work on Miami, because what they saw on Saturday is if we will compete and do all the things that we've been preaching all off season, which we have not proven, but we went out there and did it on Saturday, we can play with anybody. So what that means is let's get Miami right? Let's work on us, let's work on our mistakes, let's work on the things that we did to not allow us to win the football game, and let's correct those things. Because what I don't want is to say, okay, well now, we go from playing, a top 10 team to a team that's not ranked, is that going to be, no. There is no opposition. I think what we found out on Saturday is that we are the opposition. That we're playing against the best version of ourselves every week. And so now to try to make sure that we present the best version of ourselves on Saturday, I think our players believe it doesn't really matter who the opposition is, that our best will beat anybody as long as we're at it. So let's try to find the things that we didn't do well and not repeat our mistakes.
I want to ask you about Bubba Bolden.
Yeah.
Just what the situation is there. Are you hopeful that he can play this year? Or do you have a timeline on?
Yeah, and we were hopeful last week. We're still hopeful. We're just waiting to hear back. So, fingers crossed, we'll see.
Anything else, Scott?
Just got to go back to Tate. He had the fourth most snaps among the receivers. Just maybe what did he show you that the other guys didn't that have been a receiver? He obviously passed up some guys.
Well, if you're looking at pure snap count, though, that's a little disingenuous because he's in the Wildcat package, right? So that's going to count as snaps. He took a couple snaps at quarterback; those are going to count as snaps. So I don't know if you're going like for like on that, And then also, when you're talking about what position he plays, when he plays wide receiver, so you can't say, well, he got this many snaps and that guy got less. Well, that guy might be an X and he might be an F. So they're not everybody plays the same position, so it doesn't work like that as well.
Mainly just, I guess, your opinion on the Jeff Thomas bang play in the end zone in tight coverage.
The tough catch right there.
Yeah, in your opinion, should he have caught that? And then also, on the muff
their punter was one of the MVPs of the game. I mean, he did a great job of hitting us deep. So absolutely, I mean, the way he's been playing the ball, if we don't feel that, we're probably gonna start an offense at our 1 or 2 yard line again. So no issue with that. He's just got to get his body on the ball, which he knew as soon as it happened. And then you're asking me on the catch in the end zone. I guarantee if you ask Jeff would say I should catch that ball. You know, but you know, they got a guy in coverage that says he shouldn't catch it. That's all part of competing. And I thought it was a great throw by Jaron to give him the chance. And you know, that's you know what though, we're playing to win the game, and that's what happens. You know what I mean? You know, you take the shot at the end of the game. It goes in, it rims out, you know, but at least we're in the mix, and at least we're competing, and we can sit there and talk about a play here and a play there instead of, you know, wondering, you know, where did it all go wrong, and, you know, and how did the roof cave in. So to me, I think that's what makes our players excited. Now, is that they understand is that their level of intensity gives us a chance to win those games against anybody we play.
Man, I know you said, obviously, no change on the offensive line, but I was just curious, in the lead up to the season, obviously DJ and Devon did have some experience at tackle. Did you give much thought to them there, or were you pretty set on them at guard?
Of course, we thought about everything. We thought about everything. And we've tried every combination. We moved everybody around, as we told you guys. Well, I always said, don't pay attention to what a depth chart looks like on, you know, whatever day in August. But we felt like, you know, DJ and Devon are really doing a nice job at guard. And again, these guys, look, there's a lot of tackles that are going to have a hard time with number 58 at Florida and number 92 at Florida. And those guys are going to be pros probably, you know, by next April. So it is what it is. So again, I think we've got a lot of confidence in our guys. And I want to make a point on this too now. Sacks do not define offensive line play at all. Okay? There were easy throws in the first half where we were, you know, moving Jaron out of the pocket where, you know, tight end forgets to block the defensive end, or we step the wrong way, or things like this. You know, we don't fan out to a linebacker that we should pick up, which means a back guy's taken, which means the linebacker who has a back man-to-man comes unblocked and sacks the quarterback. But the ball should have been out, you know, 3 counts before that. So everybody understands it's an 11-man job to protect our quarterback, and we don't operate in vacuums where we can assess this and that. And I'll be honest, if we would have gone up by 10 like we should have after the fake field goal, they'd had to come out of their shell, and they'd had to drop back and throw the football on us down by 10, and that probably would have gone very poorly for them. So that's all part of the game, and that's what we had to do the last 7 minutes when we were in desperation drop back mode, and that's part of the reason why it looked what it looked. But we wouldn't have cared if we'd have caught one of those passes in the end zone on that last drive and run out of there at 27-24, and they could have sacked us 19 times. If we had 27, we would have cared less.
2 more guys.
Manny, I was just wondering, how does Tate feel in particular about playing wide receiver? I would think it would be kind of invigorating for him. How has that changed his mindset, his drive?
I would encourage you to ask him personally, but I know that was something very on in the process. He was very, very excited about and wanted to do it and suggested it.
How do you feel Amari Carter and Jordan Hall played in the first game? He seemed go on and shove it, top pass.
Yeah.
That's a good offense. Do you think they played well during that well?
I thought they grew into the game as the game went on. I thought all of our sophomores in the secondary did. I thought early on, obviously we had a ton of missed tackles back there that contributed to their first touchdown. That in a game again where everything matters, you can't give up 66-yard touchdowns. It's just not acceptable. But they'll learn from that. And all I can think about is when, you know, Redwine was a sophomore. You know, when Michael Jackson was a sophomore, he would hardly tackle anybody. He left here one of the best tackling DBs that we've ever had. So. You know, like I said, I thought as the game went on, they grew into the game. I thought they got better and better. But early on, you can see fourth play of the game is when that fourth play of defense in the game is when that play got out of there. That's when I know that all of those guys like to have back.
Great. Thank you, everybody.
I got one more thing, Carter.
Okay.
Just to make a little bit of announcements. We have a little bit of an unusual deal today at our press conference, but there is a new arrival on the roster. A little bit small, but feisty at 20 inches long, 8 pounds, 8 ounces, Brady William Baker. Blake Baker and Rosalind Baker welcomed their 3rd child today. So again, we'll have that. We'll get the depth chart out next week. Brady William Baker.
What position?
Lines up exactly. Tate. He's our backup Tate. So, anyway.